Welcome to Tech Learners. In today's lecture, we will talk about method overloading, also known as function overloading. In the previous week, we had talked about constructors, math library, some important programs based on series, sum of series. So in today's lecture, we will talk about method overloading. If you are not aware about methods, what are methods in Java, then you can watch my video based on methods in Java. So let's talk about method overloading. So method overloading is used to implement polymorphism in Java. Polymorphism is one of the main object-oriented features of the Java programming language. What we mean by polymorphism? Polymorphism is basically different behavior in different situations. Like when a method behaves differently in different situations, then we'll see that this is polymorphism. For example, let's say if you want to calculate area. Now the calculation of area can be different in different situations. Let's say if you want to calculate the area of the circle, so the methodology will be different from calculation of the area of a square. And even if you want to calculate the area of a cube, so all these three processings are different. But what we are doing, we are calculating the area. That means we are performing one method that behaves differently in different situations. When it comes to the circle, it behaves differently. When it comes to the square, it behaves differently. And when it comes to the cube, it behaves differently. So what we can do, we can create three different methods for calculation of these three shapes. Like we can calculate or we can create one method with the name circle area. We can also create another method with the name square area. We can create the third method with the name cube area. But this is not advisable, and that is why polymorphism come into the action. So let's see, if polymorphism is not implemented, then what happens? Then we have to define multiple functions for the similar work. Just now I have given you the idea that to calculate the area, we have to define multiple methods, one for the circle, one for the square, one for the cube, and we know that there are many shapes. So we need to define multiple functions, and these functions are needed to be called differently. So multiple comparisons will be made. Let's say if we want to calculate the area, then we need to compare that what is the shape, and depending upon that comparison, we will call area calculation of the circle, the method which is specifically created for the area calculation of the circle. So here multiple comparisons will be required, and this will increase the code and processing and even the complexity of the Java program. So just to reduce the code, processing and complexity of the Java program, we need to implement polymorphism. And the way to implement polymorphism in Java is through method overloading. Now let's understand what we mean by an overloaded function. A function having several definitions in the same scope is known as overloaded functions. Yes, a same function can have multiple definitions in the same scope. What we mean by same scope? Let's say in one class. So in one class we can have multiple definitions of a function with similar name. How this is possible? This is possible just by differentiating the definitions with differentiating their signatures. I have told you about signatures in my separate lectures of the methods. But let to revise. Just to revise, the signature is the first line of the method definition that includes the name of the function and its parameter list. So we can differentiate this parameter list and can define multiple functions with the same name in the same scope also, that means in the same class. So how these definition can be differentiated? Can be differentiated with the help of numbers or types of the arguments. Yes, we can define multiple functions with the same name just by differentiating them in the number or types of the arguments. Let's understand this with the help of examples, and then later on we will create the program on it. So let's see, if you want to calculate the area, so this is the definition of one function that is calculating the area of a circle. Just see, the return type is double, name of the function is area, and the parameter list contains one parameter of double type. It is returning the area of the circle. The similar function can also be defined in this way. Just see, area, same name of the function, but now the parameter list is different. In the above function we have single parameter, here we have two parameters. So in this way we can differentiate the signature of this function with the signature of this second function. So this is called as method overloading. Yes, we can define multiple functions with the same name just by differing their parameter list. How we can differ parameter list? In two ways. One, we can change the number of parameters, like here we have one parameter and here we have two parameters. And the second way is to differing the parameter list in the type of the parameter. Now just see, this first function have one parameter of double type, and now just look at this function, it is also having one parameter, but now here the parameter type is different, it is int. So we can do this in two ways. Either we can differ with the number of parameters, here 1, here 2, or we can differ with the type of the parameters, here 1, here also 1, but here it is double and here it is int. Remember, just by changing this return type will not make methods overloaded methods. Yes, we have to make changes into parameter list. We will see this with the help of the programs. One more statement about overloaded functions, that overloaded functions are called in the same manner like any other method is called. So you need to go and watch the video based on the methods if you are not clear here. So let's go and see the program for the method overloading. So this is a simple program based on the method overloading. I have created a simple class. So this is the function defined area. So here we have passed single parameter and it is returning the calculated area of the circle. Now let me show you, this can be redefined. Let's say if we are redefining this, here we have the same number of parameters, and this is one thing which I want to tell you, that why we are using double and why we are not using float, just because this maybe give you an error, incompatible types. So normally you see whenever we calculate like we multiply, then we use double as types or as parameters. So let's come back and discuss actual method overloading. So we can see this is the one function with the same name, this is second function defined with the same name. We have just differentiated this parameter list. In the first we have one parameter, in the second we have two parameters. So in this way we can overload the methods. This is the third example where we are calculating the area, and this is a single parameter but the type is different. So we have defined three functions for the same purpose, that is to calculate area, and we have overloaded this function. So basically this is the method overloading with the help of the number of parameters or with the help of the type of parameters. So this is returning the area of the circle, this is returning the area of the square, sorry, this is rectangle, and this is returning the area of the square. What is the advantage? Let me show you. Now to call these functions, we just need to define a main function, and we have created the object. Now with the help of the object, just look at here, we are calling the function area, right? How the compiler will get to know which area function will be called? Depending upon the parameter we are passing. So if we are passing a single parameter of integer type, that means it will call this signature and this definition, and we will get the area of the square. So let me compile and show you the output of this function call. So this is the area of the shape is 16, that is 4 cross 4, 16. So we have got the area of the square. Now if you want to calculate the area of the circle, we need to give the radius. So let's pass the radius in the form 4.4. Now we know we don't need to write here anything like area of circle. We can simply use this area function because this has been overloaded with multiple definitions. Now automatically this function will call this definition based on the parameter list and will return the area of the circle. So let me compile and show you that the result will be different, and we have the area of the circle. Now let me give you another example, that if we pass two parameters, let's say length 4.4 and height 2.0. So we have passed two parameters, length and breadth. That means we want this function area to calculate the area of the rectangle. So we do not need to define separately anything here that calculate area of rectangle or something. We just call area and it will automatically use this definition of rectangle. So it will call this definition and calculate the area of the rectangle. So let me compile and show you that the area is of rectangle, right? So this is the advantage of method overloading. This is the same name, it is behaving differently in different situations. When we are passing an integer parameter, it is behaving differently. When we are passing a double parameter, it is behaving differently. And we are passing two double parameters, it is behaving differently. So this is the beauty of the method overloading. And this is how we implement polymorphism in our Java program. I hope you have understood the concept of polymorphism and the method overloading. You must have understood that polymorphism can be implemented with the help of the method overloading, and what is the advantage of having method overloading. So keep watching the videos. If you like the videos, press the like button. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe the channel. Tune in for more such videos, and yes, don't forget to hit the bell icon. Thank you so much.